It started in a way that almost felt beautiful, like something you'd see in a movie and assume would never happen to you. A few times a week, when I got home, there were red roses sitting right at my door. Always fresh, always the same. No card, no name. And I didn't do anything about it at first because I honestly thought it was one of my friends messing with me. I had a lot of playful friends, the kind who loved dragging a joke out just to see a reaction. Part of me was curious. I wanted to see how far it would go. I wanted to see what the punchline was supposed to be. Week after week, the roses kept coming, always around the same time. Always in the same spot, like someone knew exactly when I wouldn't be home. After a while, that red didn't feel romantic anymore. It felt deliberate. Then the letters started showing up. They came with the roses, folded neatly. The words didn't really make sense. They talked about love as pain, suffering as proof, how some people only understand feelings once something starts to hurt. One said loving someone means learning to carry their weight in silence. Another said pain brings people closer than happiness ever could. I still tried to laugh it off. I kept thinking, okay, this is weird, but it's still a joke. It has to be. I didn't report it. I didn't tell anyone. I just waited to see what would happen next. That's when the calls began. Always from an unknown number. When I answered, there was no voice. Just breathing. It would start out of nowhere, steady, way too close. I would freeze, listening for a few seconds, my whole body locked up, like any movement could be heard on the other end. Then the call would drop. The first time, I told myself it was nothing. The second time, I felt my stomach tighten. By the third and fourth, I stopped pretending it was funny. And when the voicemails started showing up, that's when I realized this wasn't one of my friends anymore. After a few days, something changed. The calls weren't just breathing anymore. Along with it, I started hearing a voice, deep, low, disturbing.
Sarah, I didn't want to wake you right now. You look so different when you sleep. You look peaceful. I stood there for a few minutes, just watching. It's the only time your thoughts go quiet. The roses weren't about love. They were about presence. Lately, I'm afraid of my thoughts, afraid of what they're becoming, afraid of what I want to do now. I left you a gift in the living room. Nothing big, just something to show you. I was here. You should be more careful when you lock up. Not every lock does what you think it does. The back door, you left it open. Bad people live around here, and not all of them announce when they decide to stay.
The call ended on its own. I just stood there holding my phone, trying to understand how that voice could know things no one should know. That night, I found another letter. No roses this time, just an envelope. Inside was a single line, pressed hard into the paper, saying some stories don't need to be explained to keep happening. That was the moment I decided to go to the police. I gathered the letters, took photos of the flowers, saved the call logs. As I shoved everything into my bag, my phone buzzed again. Unknown number. It all started after a story I posted without thinking. Just a quick clip on my way home. Nothing personal, nothing that should matter. A minute later, my phone buzzed. Unknown number. I didn't answer. It went straight to voicemail. When I listened, there was no voice at all. Just noise. Traffic in the background, light footsteps, and then that sharp metallic screech I'd heard seconds earlier. A train. The same brake sound, the same crossing signal, the same distant announcement leaking from a speaker. I played it again and again because my brain didn't want to accept it. The message didn't feel random. It sounded like where I was. I tried to calm myself down and tell myself it was a coincidence, that it could be anything. The next day, I posted another story, just a coffee cup on a table, a stupid little moment. 2 minutes later, another unknown number, another voicemail. This time I heard the hiss of the espresso machine, cups clinking, the low murmur of people talking, and in the back, a short laugh I'd heard at the counter. I looked around like someone might suddenly appear in front of me. The message ended without a single word, just that atmosphere, like someone had recorded it with their phone in a pocket dot. After that, I started paying attention. I posted less, but sometimes I'd slip up out of habit. A quick story on the street, and the message would come again. One day I walked past a daycare and, without thinking, filmed the sky and the trees. I didn't show kids, I didn't show a sign, I didn't show an address. Still minutes later, another voicemail came in. I hit play and froze. I could hear children, distant squeals, a playground swing creaking, an adult calling someone by name. It was the exact sound of that place at that time. That's when I understood this wasn't someone watching my stories later. It was someone close enough to record what I was hearing. After that, the messages changed slightly. There still was almost never a voice, but in one of them, over the street noise, I heard a short breath and a low whisper, like they were speaking right into the microphone. He said I didn't need to post anymore for him to know where I was. He said I gave everything away without noticing. He said I didn't look back the right way. I stopped walking for a few seconds, pretending to scroll, and my stomach dropped. It wasn't a direct threat. It was worse. It was certainty. I started changing my routine. Different routes, different times, stories only at home, only after. Still, one day I didn't post anything. Nothing all day. And that night my phone buzzed anyway. Unknown number. I didn't answer. It went to voicemail. When I listened, I heard the most familiar sound of all. My own gate, the click of the lock, and then slow footsteps in my hallway, like someone was stopping right in front of my door.